Hi, I'm white. Tim Wise once said that the people in this country who enjoy the most privilege also suffer from the most anxiety. Tim Wise can be found on YouTube. You should listen to some of his speeches. And he's European. He said that the people who have the most privilege in this country suffer from the most anxiety. And the people with the most privilege in this country are white people. This is what he said. I mean, I already know that. But the reason that is because of a universal law known as the law of compensation. The law of compensation basically deals with the fact that, let me give you an example. There's a spiritual law that says that when you seek pleasure in and of itself, pain usually follows. And the pain generally lasts a longer time than the pleasure. Why is that? It's because of the law of compensation. So in essence, there is a balancing act that the universe does in every scenario. So if it's white and you have privilege in this country, that privilege is based upon the subjugation of people that don't look like you, which generally means they have melanin. You're melanin deficient. That's not a positive, that's a negative. That's a deficiency. You got milk, but you don't have melanin, or very little of it. So when you're talking about the privilege that comes with being white, generally what you find is most white people in this country are very anxious. They're always in a rush. They rush to beat you to the light. They rush to beat you to the stop sign. They rush to beat you to work. They rush to beat you to out of work. They're always in a rush. Always this competitive aspect. And generally when I'm walking, and I'm just walking, you know, on my stride and just kicking it, you know, like the original man of the earth. I could say that. As the original man of the earth, I'll just be walking, and it always ends up, usually a white woman has to make her way to my area of my pathway so that she can cut me off. Like if I take another step, I will run into her, whereas really she was really way over on the other side somewhere. I watch this happen all the time. It's not that they may even do it consciously. They may do it unconsciously, because white privilege is such an integral part of the society. There's nothing in the society that causes them to look at themselves anyway, so they remain asleep. Sleepwalkers, like zombies. And most people live in a state of consciousness known as relative consciousness. So even when they're being racist, a lot of them are too stupid to even know it. In this society, the more money you make, the more taxes are taken. So if the average white person makes more money than the average black man, and the average white family makes more money on average than the average black family, it really doesn't matter because of the law of compensation. The more money you make, the more taxes that pimp named Sam that doesn't exist takes. FICA and all that extracurricular shit. We're not taught money in school, so we don't know generally that our biggest expense is taxes. So you make $100,000 a year, huh? You rolling, huh? You balling, huh? Right. More than a black family, huh? Well, 50% of that is Uncle Sam's. because it's earned income, which you tax about 50%. If you work from January to December and I tally up your taxes, you worked from January to May 15th for free. The only reason you don't know that you're a white slave is because they take it out a little bit at a time. The more money you make, the more taxes is taken. And to make matters worse, the middle class and upper middle class folks that make the most, who pay the most taxes, it's not bad enough that you already pay the most taxes. But on top of that, your taxes are used to support the rich. Whenever you hear the word bailout, it means that your taxes are getting ready to go up. You're so privileged. Your taxes are getting ready to go up so the government can recoup the money back that was paid out to these morons on Wall Street, most of which look like you. Why would you bail out someone and keep them employed when the economy is in shambles because of those busters? So you make more money on average, but you pay more in taxes, and the taxes that you pay go to help the rich in the form of bailouts, and it also goes to put food on the table of the poor in the form of welfare. So which one of us is the biggest slave?